Hey bro, later you want go makan at the canteen or hawker center?
Can la, but last time you don't ask me one lay. Bojo.
No lah, I asked you one. I think you just forget. Like maybe you blur sotong or something. Okay, I will be sure to ask you next time one.
Thank you, la. In case you're wondering that your ears or hearing is broken, that's not the case. We just were talking in a little bit of Singlish. And today with me, I have a friend and a colleague, Mikhail, who is a PhD student in NUS and is from Singapore. And he'll be sharing a bit about what Singlish is about and the important words or phrases that you want to know before coming to Singapore. So, thank you, Mikhail, for joining
No
us.
worries. Thank you for having me here, Hafeez.
So, Mikhail, could you introduce yourself a little bit? Which year of PhD you are in, and what's your research topic about?
Right. So my name is Mikhyle. I am from Singapore. I'm a Singaporean. I'm in my first year of PhD, and Hafiz has gladly asked me to help him out with some Singlish words that are used in Singapore. All right. I'm supposed to tell you what my research topic is. So I'm doing decarbonization pathways. I'm exploring building retrofits and stuff like that. But today we are going to talk about Singlish words and phrases that are commonly used in Singapore.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, Mikhail. So, let's talk a bit about Singlish. What exactly is Singlish? Can you tell the audience? Like, we know the English has mainly two main accents, the British and the American accent, right? But then we hear about Singlish, which is common in Singapore. So, what this Singlish is?
Right. So the term Singlish is actually Singapore English. So that's why it's combined to be called Singlish. And it's actually a combination or a made up of a few local languages that are mashed together. So in Singapore, the common languages you have other than English would be Chinese language, Malay language, Indian language, or even certain dialects like Hokkien, Cantonese. So some of these words are being interchangeably used together in daily conversations. So that's where Singlish was created because it's the culmination of multiculturalism in Singapore and how comfortable we are in using different words for different contexts and appropriation.
Awesome. So, it's a true multicultural, multilingual
Yep, that's right. Yeah.
diversity. Yeah, yeah. That's what Singapore is actually famous for. Since the past few months, I'm here for a research stay, and I've seen this diversity like so much, and I'm really grateful to have this experience. So let's talk a little bit about important Singlish phrases that you want to probably know when you're coming to Singapore. So first one is la. So what is la? What does la mean?
So la doesn't actually mean anything, but it's usually a soundbite that comes at the end of each sentences. So, for example, if you heard our earlier conversations, you see that occasional or you hear that occasional sprinkle of la at the end of every sentences. That's just an exaggeration of lazy speaking,
Hmm.
which Singlish is particularly known for, where you end words. For example, instead of just saying I don't know, Singaporeans may use phrases like "I don't know lah." So it shows the emotion that you invoke in that particular sentence. So "la" is mainly to show how you're feeling when you're saying that particular phrase or response.
Great. And also Pela. Pela is
Yeah, yeah, it is like because of how everyone's familiar with "la." So like DBS or POSB Bank in Singapore, they actually
yeah,
created this app called Pay lah because it's just a Singapore natural term.
yeah. And the second is can or not. I guess that's an easy one.
Yeah. So Singlish also is notoriously known for its bad English. So can or not, it's actually just a simplified version of saying whether one is able or not able to. But Singaporeans we are lazy in terms of speaking even, so we trim it down by saying can or not.
Nice. And for the next, and there is an example also for can or not. I borrow your laptop, can or not. And for the next ones, if you could also give an example, that would be
Yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah.
So the third one is chop.
Chope. Okay, chope. So, chope is usually the term that refers to someone who wants to occupy something.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say this scenario exists when you are in a food court or a restaurant or a hawker center. So you obviously want to have that table to yourselves, but you want to go and buy food. So you call the term chope, which is actually a bad Singapore practice, I must say, because it is not encouraged to be selfish, but everyone's doing it. So therefore, it's looked as the norm where people would leave things like tissue packets, lanyards, business card, anything that's non-valuable.
Yeah.
Because Singapore is a safe country, so everyone's happy to just leave anything, and be and you might be careful because if you're in Singapore, please don't mistake it for trash or just litter lying on the table because it's someone else's table that's already been choked or reserved.
Awesome. Yeah, and I can also double down on the safety part in Singapore. I'm really impressed by the level of safety here, and in during the nights and during the days, if you happen to forget your stuff somewhere in the market, it happened to me as well. So the stuff remains there, or either the shop owner just safe keeps it. So
Yeah.
quite pretty good work here. And then the fourth word is alamak.
Alamak, yes, yeah. So alamak is actually a Malay word or Malay phrase for oh no. Okay, so like normally people would say oh no or like alamak. Okay, so alamak refers to a phrase when someone forgets something,
Hmm.
or it's expression when someone feels frustrated at themselves. So normally these words are being borrowed across the different
Right.
cultural languages. So
Mhm.
alamak is like the Malay origin that's being borrowed into the English sentence.
So it's a Malay word.
It's a Malay word. Yeah,
Okay,
it is.
great. An example of alama could be alama, I forgot my wallet. So that's
Yeah.
how it can be used. Then the fifth one is blur like sotong.
Right. So blur like Sotong, like as you heard me and Hafeez in our conversation earlier, it refers to like an imagery because blur means that someone is often known as not being able to comprehend or not being
Mhm.
able to recall, not to be confused with the adjective of being blurry screen or something. But the phrase is often associated with sotong, which is squid. So sotong is a Malay word, and when the phrase goes blur like sotong, it refers to you as someone who's clueless like a squid,
Hmm.
something like
Does it also is a bad word to use? Like, is it
that.
to say if someone is slow or let's say clumsy or something like?
Yeah, possibly. It really depends on the context. Although, please don't use that loosely when you're in Singapore, unless you're very well acquainted with the person.
So it's an important, nice word, but be careful
Yeah.
with the usage. Then the sixth one is paise.
Paise. So paise is of Chinese origin. So it's usually used when someone feels embarrassed because or they're feeling sorry because they made something wrong or they've
Hmm.
done like a mistake or something. So paise is like, hey, paise, paise. Like that's how they usually try to seek for forgiveness in a
Okay,
casual manner.
interesting. And then bojo, which I also used in
Yeah,
the.
yeah.
What's that about?
So bojo is actually it comes from I'm not sure if it's Hokkien or Cantonese, but it's one or the other. It's actually made up of two different words. So bo means no, and chio means like ask. So in literal direct translation, it's no ask. So it's usually used when you forgot to invite a particular friend, and that friend feels offended, and he will be like, "Bocho, like why you never ask me to come along?" Something like
That's great. So you didn't ask me. That's why bojo
that.
on you. All right. So the next segment is about some quick fire questions. So we
Yeah.
will ask Mikhail about that. So what do these things mean? Cyan board, cyan, so
Yeah. Uh,
cyan.
Sienna. Okay, so Sien. So Sien is if you are bored. So like it's spelled SIAN. So it's a word again from Chinese origin. It's when you are experiencing quite a bit of boredom, or you are practically done with something because you've spent too much time on it. So you say, I'm a bit sian today. So the sian is the word, and then you usually accompany it with like la, like those sound bites at the end of the sentence to express how you actually feel tired or lethargic.
Right, right. So maybe the wording is Sian, Sian, but actually it's pronounced as if you know there is a river Seine, so it's he says Sien, so something
Sian,
like
yeah.
that. And then the second is you have to tell the meaning of Wadao e.
Walawe. Okay, so walawe is more of an expression. Like I said, so the like walau is more of a word used when someone is experiencing displeasure. So if you're unhappy about something, you can say walau. Why? Okay, so it's an additional adjective or word on top of the five W's one H. If you remember,
Ah,
why, when, what.
yeah,
Uh,
I'm forgetting the other
I'm forgetting
where.
the where, yeah,
Yeah.
where and how. So in Singapore, we have another W, and that's walau.
Ah,
Okay, it's
okay.
to show unhappiness. So normally it comes together with eh at the end. That's the sound bite that accompanies the strong emotion that walau brings.
Awesome. And then this one is my favorite, catch no ball.
Honestly, personally, I've not heard of that being used too frequently out there.
Okay.
But catch no ball, it's often or sometimes used when the term that you're trying to say does not really hold water or does not
Hmm.
really catch meaning to whatever that you're trying to imply.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then we will now also ask Mikhail about when not to use Singlish. So, could you also tell when do actually can you tell how much applicability or how much usage is there of Singlish for the international students coming to Singapore, let's say to NUS or NTU or wherever they are going to study, or for someone who is going to work in Singapore?
Right.
How often are they supposed to use Singlish, and when do should they not use Singlish?
Right. So Singlish is often used in a casual setting, so non-professional environment. So this could be transactions in the market, in shops, if you're trying to converse with the sellers or shop owners, or even communicate amongst Singaporean friends.
Hmm.
Whereas when not to use Singlish is obviously during professional settings like a job interview or talking to professors or anyone that is of high authority. So basically, just remember, don't use Singlish professionally. However, there is a caveat because in Singapore, Singlish is often used if you have quite a camaraderie or rapport with
Hmm.
a particular person. So if one starts using Singlish with you, it means that both of you are relatively comfortable to each other. Yeah.
Nice.
So
So,
avoid saying Singlish if you're talking to a stranger for the first time, unless it's like transactional. So you could actually pick up some of these phrases and words when you're interacting with someone for the first time. So you can respond accordingly based on what this person says.
great. So, if you want to make Singaporean friends and you start seeing them using the Singlish words with you, that means they're starting to become your friends. Is
Yeah,
that right?
yeah. You can use that as an indicator.
Great. And then, what's your favorite Singlish phrase?
I think personally, I used "ayya" quite a lot.
Aya. Did we
"Ayya."
talk about Aya?
Did we?
I don't think so. We talked about Aya.
Oh, okay. I mean, just to the recap, just in case I did not mention "ayya" earlier. So "ayya" is more like an expression for when you realize a mistake that you've made. So for me personally, I use "ayya" a lot because I tend to be forgetful sometimes when you have a long list of things on the top of your head.
Yeah.
So I occasionally use "ayya" to my friends, to my parents, to even people that I'm comfortable with, to show my ayahness or my forgetfulness in the day. Yeah.
So, if you forget, you just say Aya.
Ayah, I forgot this. Ayah,
Aya. Okay.
I didn't do this. Yeah.
There's also some body language going on here, so
That's right. Yeah.
it's like very active language.
It's
I
an
feel
active
it's
language.
an
Yeah.
it's a very
Exactly. Yeah.
active language. So mini quiz, or let's say role play. So let's test the audience. Guess the meaning of the following words. We will give you a few words just for your own search, and then just search them and let us know. So you can say the words if you'd like.
Right. The first one is kiasu.
Just give a hint. Is it a positive connotation, a funny or negative connotation?
Well, this is you've hit right at the nail in the center, because this can be used for either positive or
Okay.
negative, depending on your tone and what context you're using it. But a hint for you is that kiasu is uh, used where someone wants to do something very fast.
Okay. Wow. Then the second one.
Okay. So the first level I would say is kiasu. The second one is this next word, kanjong spider. Okay, so kanjong spider is it's leaning towards the negative connotation.
Hmm.
So it's more to describe another level ahead of kiasu, where you really want to do everything and anything
Awesome.
simultaneously.
And then final word for your own search.
Steady pompipi. Okay, honestly, I've never personally used this myself.
Oh, really?
I've only used
Okay.
the first word, which is steady. Okay, but steady pompipi is just an extension of the word steady, and normally steady is used when someone agrees with you or understands what you're trying to say. So they say like, "Hey, let's go for makan later." Steady means he says okay.
Okay.
And the active hand language is usually like a steady.
And steady pompipi means I am definitely going
Yeah,
to get.
yeah,
And
yeah.
makan is, by the way, you want to
Yeah.
explain?
So makan, I've been using that quite a bit in our conversation earlier.
Yeah.
So makan is another borrowed word from the Malay language in Singapore, and makan refers to eat or go to eat.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you, Mikhyle. This was Singlish 101. Mikhyle helped us to decode Singlish, and we hope that this could give you some insights about the English spoken here. But by the way, the level of English in spoken, written, and hearing is very, very good in Singapore. So you normally go by very well with just normal English, like British accent, American, or just Indian or Pakistani, whatever. But knowing this accent also helps you to integrate better into the society.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, Hafeez, for having me here. Yeah.
And if you have any questions, you can drop in the comments, and I would request Mikhyle to answer to them if there are any further questions. But that's all from my side. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.